Peace and cheers, folks. Happy Monday. Flying Health Coach coming at you. That was kind of awkward, wasn't it? Anyway, Flying Health Coach coming at you. Hope you all had a great weekend. Hope you have a great week planned. Family, friends, work, working on your life, working on your goals, right? Pursuing your passions and purposes in life and all that fun stuff like we always talk about in this channel. But what brings me to you today? Real quick before I get into that, right here, dead center of the page, right? Flying Health Coach Guide to Unf Your Life, right? Book's going to be coming out hopefully beginning of summer, probably end of summer, something like that. I try to work on it at least 3 days a week when I'm not over at my other full time job. When I'm there, I'm usually too tired to like get creative with stuff. So anyway, point is that book will come out beginning or end of summer. So look for that drop to come out. It's very much a self-help book, right? It's encompassing my three kind of pillars of health, if you will. So mental, spiritual, and then physical. It's not just my three, it's kind of just the pillars of health, right? But I kind of talk about what's the things that have helped me the most in my life, be the most successful. So I want to bring that to anyone that gets that book and reads it, and hopefully it helps you guys just live a better life, right? The book's not going to be your end-all, be-all, right? It's just going to be a start. It's to start to help you get to where you want to be. So look for that to drop. And let's talk about what brings me to you today. Before, what brings me to you today is I want to start off by saying I want to give a huge shout out to my girlfriend. For those of you that know me, you know who she is. So I'm not going to name drop here, right? But you know who I'm talking about. So huge shout out to her for passing her private check ride last week. It is a monumental accomplishment, not just for her, but for anyone who embarks on a brand new journey in life when it's something that's totally foreign to you and it's scary and you don't know what to expect, and it's a big moment, right? And I want to talk about that and relate that to bigger life things. So thank you, babe, for letting me talk about this. So I hope it's beneficial to everyone. Let's get into it. So title of the video, Failure, A Tale of Success, right? So she started flight training probably about a year and some change ago, year and a few months ago, give or take. I don't know what the date is. What's it, April right now? So yeah, like a year and 5-6 months ago, about a year and a half. Let's just go with that. So initially, right, we don't know what we don't know, right? You don't know how to be successful in a brand new field. You don't know how to be successful in something you've never done before. So what naturally has to happen? You have to fail, right? It's part of it. It's part of getting to the life that you want, right? Which she did, right? She had a lot of setbacks right away. Versus some people, some people that go into something new, maybe they pick it up super fast. And let's just use aviation, right? I know a lot of people that have never failed a check ride. A lot of people that get through this program lickety split, like, in a year and a half, they already have their bachelor's degree, right? Or associates or whatever, right? Doesn't matter. But the point is, some people go things faster, some people don't. Personally, for me, I love the stories of people who don't pick up on something right away. Why? Because it shows their resiliency. It shows their will. It shows their true character as a person. It shows the fact that, she put her mindset to something, she put her heart and soul into something, and never, ever once quit. That thought never once crossed her mind was, this isn't for me. Because the overpowering thought in the mind was, I will do whatever I have to do to get this goal. And that's why I love her story so much, is because I talk a lot on this channel about failure and success and living the life that you want. And she's embodying that right now. And that's why I think it's such a great story. For anyone who watches this video, that if you're struggling in life right now, if you're trying to be a private pilot, instrument, commercial, multi, or if you're doing something completely different out of aviation, right? If you're trying to be a hairdresser, a doctor, a dentist, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you're struggling right now and you keep failing at something, but if that's what you truly want to do in your life, you owe it to yourself to keep going. You owe it to yourself to learn and to understand that failure is a part of this journey. Failure is a part of my success. Failure is a part of me becoming the person I need to be successful. Just like Thomas Edison, right? what did he fail? Was it 900 sometimes making a light bulb? He never quit, right? But every failure was just a new way that he knew what not to do the next time. Same thing with my girlfriend, right? Every time she failed at something, it was a new way for her to discover what not to do. And it was a way for her to discover what to do to eventually get to the point where she passed her check ride this last week. And that's why I love the story, right? Because again, it's no fun to read stories on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever social media platform of, you got some person who was, they gave us some crap about, I had $5 in my bank account and I'm a millionaire because I did this, this, and this, and they got some jacked up video with a bunch of characters and stuff like that on it that are preaching this ungodly, huge, successful life. Now they own a yacht and a mansion, right? But that's the problem with life these days, I think, is because when you think of success, maybe that's your success long term, right? But we don't ever pay homage and pay attention to those little successes to get there, right? My girlfriend, I know wants to potentially go like to Amazon, FedEx, UPS, do cargo stuff. That's kind of an option, and I'm sure that mindset will change as time goes. But we can't forget about the little successes that we achieve to get there. And by no means is passing a check ride a little success. It's not. It's fucking huge, right? But what I love about this is this is a story and a tale that shows if you have that mindset, right? If you have that direction, you have that clarity of this is what I want to do, you can achieve it. And she did. She never once wanted to quit, right? She failed a bunch of times, but never once did quitting cross the mindset. And now she is successful. Now she's on to the next thing. There's no reason that you can't do the same, right? No reason. If you're struggling in life right now, buckle down, understand that failure is a part of the process. Every time you fail, pick your boots back up, pick your pants back up, learn from your failure, try the next thing, right? And keep compounding those failures, keep compounding those lessons till eventually we're going to learn what you have to do to get to where you want to be. And I'm reading, I've told you guys this a bunch of times, Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. Right now we're talking about neuro-linguistic programming and submodalities. Submodalities are a way for you to create your blueprint of the life that you want. They're a way for you to take your mind back to how you felt about something, right? Through the five senses and the submodalities. In this case, they talk about auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. Okay, what auditory? Okay, what are things you heard that day that made you feel a certain way? Kinesthetic, thumbs up. Kinesthetic, how'd you feel, right? Visual, what it looked like, right? So you take all these submodalities, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, and you're able to bring yourself back to that emotion of how you felt when you were successful at one point in your life. How did that feel, right? Probably felt pretty awesome. And then you say, okay, how would that have not felt if I wasn't successful? Didn't feel so good. Humans inherently want to feel good. You want to feel success in life, right? So that's what I encourage you guys to do. I encourage you to, whenever you've had success in your life, is to think back to how that felt to be successful. And if you're going for a goal right now, you're trying to achieve something, think how it's going to feel when you achieve it. I can guarantee you that's going to overcome those emotions, those little setbacks, those failures. It will overcome them because you know that every time you fail, I'm this much closer to feeling just awesome, feeling badass in my life, right? And that's going to help set up your environment to be successful. And let's be honest, right? Your environment is critical to your success in your life, right? Kind of the going quote, and I don't know if it's exact numbers, right? But they always say the 5 people that you associate yourself with, you become the average of those 5 people. So if you look at the 5 people in your life that you spend the most amount of time with, it doesn't matter if it's your husband, your wife, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your friends, whatever. But look at those 5 people that you text, you Snapchat, you TikTok with, you Instagram with, you Facebook with, you hang out with, you whatever with, doesn't matter. The 5 people you do the most things with, you'll be the average of those 5. So you need to choose carefully, right? Because they're going to dictate what your life's going to look like, even without you knowing it, right? If you're the one pulling all the weight constantly, if you're the one that's never quitting, you're always trying to get better, you're trying to build the life that you want, but you're surrounded by people who seemingly just don't care, who are kind of just even keeled to a certain degree. And I know a lot of people like this in my life. I used to be that in my mid-20s. I was that person who surrounded himself with people that were just kind of average Why? Probably because it boosted my confidence knowing I was doing something better than they weren't. But now I want to be around people who are better than me. I want to be around people who are constantly improving themselves because I want to keep getting better myself. And that's a big reason why my girlfriend's amazing as she is, because she's got a lot of things that I don't have, right? Especially when it comes to never quitting. And I respect that a lot, right? And you should too. You should too really look at yourself and who's in your life and really determine and figure out, what am I doing in my life? Am I doing everything that I need to do to live the life that I want, right? Am I learning from my failures? Not a lot of people can say that they did, right? I coached health and wellness for years as a corporate health coach, helped thousands of people. And the only ones I actually remember are the people that actually never did anything for their life. And there are like 5 or 6 of them, right? I remember the names. It was weird. But I remember calling them every single month, and they just gave up. They failed in life, and they just quit. Never learned from their failures. And I can bet money they're still doing the same things they're doing now as they were 6, 7 years ago. So, I didn't want this video to be a rant, right? Before we kind of conclude things, please don't forget to like and subscribe up in the corner there. I don't think you can click it, but like and subscribe. Shoot me an email, flyinghealthcoach@gmail.com. If you want to do some life coaching and talk about where you're at, where you want to go, and how we, build a plan to get you there eventually. Or if you just need to talk, need to vent, right? I'm here for that too, because I know it helps just to vent sometimes. You don't always have to be doing something to just feel better. You just got to vent, and I get that. But in summation of today's video, don't quit, right? Do not quit at something that you truly want in life. You're going to fail, right? You're going to have to take multiple avenues to get there, but don't ever quit. Fail, write down the lesson you learned, learn from it, choose a different path, keep going, right? You're going to get there if you keep going, but you can't get there if you quit, right? So again, huge shout out to my girlfriend. Thank you for letting me kind of talk about a little bit about your story and your path to get up to being a private pilot. I'm super proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself too. So anyway, I want you all to be proud of yourselves, right? Please don't ever quit. You'll regret it the rest of your life. Fail, that's okay, but don't quit. Anyway, peace and cheers, folks.